Welcome all to
Well,
the strategic planning committee meeting
yeah,
on March 16th at the library. What a wonderful day out there, you know. Us calling it to order at 4:39. So we're going to start with the agenda. Is there any changes or additions to this agenda? Nice and short, I thought.
yes.
But I know it's going to carry on long into the evening. No public comments today. Approval of the minutes from January 26th meeting a couple of months ago.
Approved.
Approved as is. I second it. Thank you. Any discussion? Good. Marketing. So sorry, I know you have people coming for marketing.
Right, so
Did you
maybe
wanna-
we could
You
skip
could skip it.
until they get here, and I'll go light a fire under them, as they say.
Okay, no
Right.
problem. Strategic plan update, I think we discussed at the two trustees meetings ago of waiting until roughly September before we will start on that. In the meantime, if Bob, if you are interested in like looking at the questionnaire, I think I have the questionnaire from the previous one and the results, and I could forward them to you.
That's perfect.
If you're like, want to be challenged over the next, whatever it is, 4 months or so,
Mhm.
and just get the thought process rolling, so. I
Sounds
can
good. Yeah,
Do
thank you.
that, cause I know you're savvy, unlike the rest of us, with doing surveys and stuff. So I would do that.
Sure. Sounds
Anything else on that we should discuss about the strategic plan? No, okay. So,
Well,
good.
hang on. Can I ask, the two staff members here, how it's working, how the plan is working for you presently? Or if it's working for you presently?
Yeah, that works. I agree. Yeah, it's clear. It's simple. I'm glad we were able to, kind of just keep rolling it forward. I think it works.
Do you think we could make some changes to it in the foreseeable year or two as we go through the process again? Would you like to see some
Yeah.
changes?
I mean, speaking for also like from my own department, like we're kind of finally launching the ABC directory. And, we got the special collections, kind of roughly organized. Those are two big project things that were in my thing. And so now thinking about other possibilities, looking at, like flows. Digitizing old newspapers perhaps for our own archive, that sort of thing. So I could see how having a new planning cycle, to plug some of those goals into would make sense for my department.
Welcome, Amanda and Tara. We're just making comments about the current strategic plan real quickly. Do you have anything you want to offer on that?
I'm just wondering how we're gonna work that with having a new library director.
Yeah. They may have an
That's
opinion
a
on
good
that.
And part of this was Star went through this when she was the new library director.
Mhm.
And she found it very helpful. I
Yeah,
want to say, I
Yeah,
don't want to take words out of your mouth.
nah, take them.
It was a good place to go through it.
Oh, no, I mean,
Yeah.
like a new library director might come in and be like, I wanna do it this way.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
yes, waiting until they've been here for a bit before we start it is a good idea, because they might have very strong feelings of how they want it done, or.
But more likely, they'll wanna spend some time noticing.
Well, hopefully between April and September.
Yeah,
they will be noticing.
that would be a good time frame for noticing.
Yeah,
And I think the process took us a year and a quarter at least last time. It did take, quite a while, so. Hopefully, there's a lot of feedback. And good ideas will come out of the whole process again. And we can get, I know some of the staff didn't feel involved last time, and I know we have a lot of new staff, I should say a lot, but. There are, for instance, Tara wasn't there then. Yeah, for the strategic plan, the whole process, okay. If there are staff that will be involved that weren't involved, so. Hopefully, we can get some good feedback. Any other comments? So, we are going to move to the topic of marketing. Back up to the top.
Yes.
Let's start. Do you have some things you want to share?
Well, you had put on the agenda that, the marketing plan that Seth put out, Seth gave us a draft of a while ago.
Yeah.
Okay. And I added a few things, but, in case we can go ahead and firm this up. And it's something that the committees looked at a while ago, and I believe, Tara, you saw this when Seth brought this up. So I added a few things that are in yellow. Since marketing was on the agenda, I wondered where the committee wanted to go with this. Whether you wanted to, you had said the communication plan update, and Seth unfortunately wasn't able to be here, but what the committee had in mind, and I know they're, looking at our communication vehicles as they were, that there's been discussion about the newsletter and about having a slide at the latches, things like that. So I figured that's what you were thinking about talking about.
Yeah, I think we, try to get to the everybody to work together in communications. So I'm gonna say, for instance, I'm not an expert on this by far, and I have to start reading up again on library communications and marketing, but targeting certain groups at certain times. I know like Lindsay's got her way of her communications that she does, Amanda's got her way, trying to maybe put a more cohesive into place so that you all know what each other's doing, so you're not. I don't know if there's ever any duplication, quite honestly. You could say, no, we never duplicate anything. That'd be great. It's just coming up with any marketing ideas, anything we may be missing. I don't think. Sometimes I feel like I see a lot of marketing out there, and sometimes it slows down, but it might just be because there's nothing to market, so to speak. I do like the recent blurbs on Facebook. I'm a Facebook person. I don't do TikTok, so everybody can give their feedback about TikTok with me. The Forge Forum person. So I've been seeing what the library did over the last year, these census, the surveys, the numbers, so many books. So that's been great. And I think keep pushing that out there.
So,
Anything else? Go ahead.
you're throwing out a lot of questions. And I think it might be helpful to sort of break them down. So one question I heard, which I think really is that the committee wants to hear from the staff about, is what internal communication is like around external marketing.
Should we talk about who's in charge of what?
Yeah.
Do we already all know what?
No, the committee doesn't.
Let's not
know,
assume what we know.
Yeah.
Soon we don't know anything.
Do you want to start, Lindsay?
Sure, I do the publicity for the children's room, Max does the teens, ours basically is. Putting our events on the calendar, and then they get grabbed for the newsletter each week. We do Facebook. The teens have an Instagram account. We don't have a Facebook for them. We have an Instagram account. We do a lot of publicity in-house, depending on what the event is. Sometimes we do outside publicity, like we have the stuffed animal slumber party coming up. I'm not gonna publicize that out of the library much, because the last time we did it, we had 68 stuffed animals dropped off. So like just doing it within the library, we're already like triple our capacity for doing that event. So it really depends on the event, how much publicity we do. Like we did the Winter Carnival one, so we did a lot more outside publicity to get a good crowd because we can accommodate a bigger crowd on that. So depending on the event, that dictates how much publicity I do in-house versus outside. And we also have it where we have our Facebook page, and then Julia, who does the downstairs one, will go to ours and also publicize things onto the downstairs Facebook also.
Is it my understanding as far as the Facebook, though, there's one person that updates the page in the children?
Nope, there's 3 of
Just
us.
maybe, okay. Yeah, so it can be updated anytime. Awesome, okay.
So for downstairs, I manage Julia, who does the main Facebook and Instagram pages for the library. And, you know, I direct her, and anyone on staff is welcome to contribute and ask her to post something. And she does about 2 to 4 posts a week on non-events. So she does, you know, promoting all sorts of, you know, winter reading challenge and seed library, and, you know, takes fun photos and posts them. So she does all of that on Facebook and Instagram. And then the events get done by Tara. I also manage the newsletter, and so I take all of the events from the calendar, children's, teen, and adult, and make sure that they get on the in the newsletter, along with any other super important announcements. I did do a small redesign of the newsletter this year, which has increased the click rate and actually made it a little bit shorter, but also has more information in it. So that has been going well with the newsletter, but anyone on staff can also say, hey, can you get this important thing in the newsletter? And then I also run the summer reading program, so any events associated with that, I take care of with website, newsletter, social media. And we also have the blog on our front page of our website, which tends to be me and Jean updating as well.
And as Amanda mentioned, I do a program on the social media. I also immediately, when I book a program, put it into the event calendar, so it's there. The event calendar is picked up by a number of different local sources. The Commons picks it up and Nextdoor picks it up. I just recently realized that because I stumbled upon them and started doing searching, and they carry all of our events next door that. And so that the social media, I do it with Julia, but I do the events. I see that there's a suggestion here, build excitement by posting an event multiple times. We don't do multiple times, but usually do it. I don't do it one time. It's just bandwidth.
What was that again?
It's an event multiple, build excitement by posting an event multiple times.
Okay.
I have a question for you. In Canva, do you use the content planner? Because you can do it multiple times and just create one and you're like, schedule, and you'll be able to do it once.
Julia does that for hers.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Camp, what is
Then
it?
you don't have to keep creating it and manually doing it.
Again, what do you call it? Camp, what do you?
Canva, content.
Will help immensely. Thank you so much.
And Brattleboro Go also picks up our events, so it's on the town event.
And when you post on social media, the way it's shown to people is very unpredictable. You could post an event the day before and it doesn't show it to them until the day after it's over. So you can't always control when
they see it.
you can control when it's posted to your page, but you can't control when people see it, when they're scrolling in their feed.
Yeah. And what, you know, on Facebook, there's a lot of, when people have an event, a lot of times they have a little star, you can put interested so that it shows up on your calendar later on, or and your friends can pick it up if you share it with everybody. Do we use that little quick star interested?
So an invitation It's not just a post, it's an invitation then.
An
The
event.
event, an event.
Yeah.
So no, we-
Yeah.
When came on board, it hadn't been done. And nor do I continue, I got picked up to do it because I had asked at the time, and if we have a co-sponsored event, sometimes some of the co-sponsors will create one.
It's something we could try. I don't know if it would get more interest than a post. It's a little hard to tell.
Well, like, sometimes, a person might be more motivated to do something if they know that some of the people who, they're friends with in real life might be also interested.
And it's a kind of a reminder, like on the weekend, I say, oh, what have I said I'm interested in? And I can look at that particular area on Facebook, but I don't know, how many people do use it that way. Do you feel like the library could use more,
Sorry.
I don't want to say more marketing, but more attendance or more usages at the library at times?
I think it really depends on the event. Some things we have a lot of interest in, some things we really have to promote. So I feel it's very event specific.
Couple of questions. Do all the people who create marketing content for the library for various purposes have an opportunity to put your heads together once a month or so? Because I just noticed that you just found out something from Lindsay that Lindsay's been doing for a while, Tara. Maybe a way that you can share your sort of tools with each other. Do you do that now, or do you think it's a good idea to do it?
Me and Tara are always connected
Yeah,
because we're sitting right next to each other.
Right.
and I will actually, I'm trying to be able to go in there, and if somebody needs to go into the newsletter, like I will do it. If Anna is not here to do it.
Cool.
So we're constantly like, oh, this is a last minute event that we're participating in, could we get it into the newsletter?
Right.
We did that last week.
And then if I have something, I'll let Amanda know, oh, I really need this to go into the newsletter this week. Here's a graphic, if it's something that's not specifically on the events calendar, but it's just something that's happening.
Communication flows I think, very fluidly.
Great.
Between
Yeah,
us
yeah,
two,
good.
yeah, and I think.
But we don't sit down and say, okay, right now we're doing publicity. We don't do
Yeah,
that.
the reason I mention it is because sometimes it's good to just have your head just be on one subject. And I do this, I manage a bunch of teams, and we meet on a subject on a regular basis, once a month or so, just to say, what'd you learn this month? What struggles did you have? Oh, I found a tool that works for this, and then that's how you find out about things. So I don't know, I was just thinking maybe you want to consider doing it. It's up to you guys, what you think is most effective for you.
And the full timers meet weekly for an hour, but you're right, it would be good to have, one of those meetings.
It could just be.
Dedicated.
Just be about
Yeah.
marketing.
Yeah, it's about
Yeah.
meaning.
And I have, okay, so one more question, and I had two questions, so this is the second. Are we looking at marketing holistically? In other words, are we saying, we marketed this event, we did this many impressions or this many, stories about it. Here's the turnout that we had. We had that event again a month later. Here are the impressions, here's the responses we saw, the open rates on the emails or whatever. And then here's the attendance, and then over time you track the two things against each other, right? So that you get a sense of here's how we are at our marketing muscle, so to speak. Do you guys do
You don't
that
really mean
today?
holistically, you mean more strategically.
Well, no, I mean holistically, because you're looking at I have an event, I market the event, people get in touch. I measure how much people see the marketing, I measure how effective the marketing is.
Mhm.
So, and then strategically is taking a step back then and saying, here's our holistic reporting of our marketing and how can we Like, what are we gonna do in 2027 to improve, our marketing? That's kind of like the strategic thing. But before you can be strategic, you measure.
I do that kind of about once a month with I look at the newsletter clicks every week to see what is popular and what's getting attention. I look at the social media about once a month when I make my director's report to see what is getting attention. So I do want some of that, but
But measuring it then against the final traffic.
sometimes I do that with Tara and look at her numbers of how many people attended each event. But, it's kind of a little unclear from all the different sources. Was it, it getting in French Forum that gave it the most attention? But then you do your surveys.
Well, usually, at the end of a program, I had been doing regularly, feedback forms. And just asking, where did you hear about, that's the first question, where did you hear about the program? And when I was doing that regularly, it's across the gamut.
Sure.
I mean, it is word of mouth, it is Facebook, it is the newsletter is one of the most popular ones, I have to admit. But I couldn't give you exact percentage. But the newsletter is one that people hear a lot about events.
Yeah, I mean, like in a perfect world, there's like the perfect way to reach everybody.
Yeah.
And there's one. But no,
Yeah.
it's never gonna be that easy.
And then there are so many variables about what brings people in on that particular night. If it's a rainy night and it's cold and it turns out something else more exciting is going on somewhere else, even though you planned yours 2 months ahead and they planned theirs a month ahead, it's still, it's still a
Like the
crapshoot
open
sometimes.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but but the more documentation, the more you can look at something, the more you'll understand it and you can use it and be strategic about it.
And we've only been using the surveys for about a year, right? So that's the first time we've had that data. So it would be a good time now that we've implemented the collection to do more analysis and compare it to clicks in the newsletter and stuff like that.
The surveys are manual, right? The pieces of paper.
I know monthly is probably gonna be tough. It's really tough for us to meet at all.
Sure.
But maybe quarterly or some other kind of
That-
check-in.
Yeah. that makes-
I
who
wanna
knows?
ask, I wanna ask this question in a different way. In terms of marketing and quote unquote results, what have you learned? What have you experienced that didn't work? Tell us about a bust of an event or something that you've done that you decided to discontinue.
Or it doesn't even have to be a event, it's just something in
Or
general.
a practice, what?
Well, again, and again, there can be so many variables. So, we can have 35 kids show up at rhyme time 1 week and then, 2 the next week, because something else, because somebody's running an open gym or something, so it's hard to, I don't think we've ever discontinued anything.
But I think that says a lot to Leo's question, that there's nothing as far as you feel that has been. I mean, even the open house, even though we had so few people at the open house, we still felt like it was a worthwhile event and want to do it again. And that's what I'm hearing from you now, all your events, you would still want to repeat them. Yeah, good way of saying it, even if you, as I said, it doesn't have to be an event, it just has an activity even.
I think we do a lot of things strategically, especially I think about Lindsay's schedule for her programming. Like there are scheduled breaks during the year for rhyme time, or summer reading is very strategically planned at certain times when fewer people are going away on vacation. So I think that's the result of many years of learning how to do that, to offer things when people are going to be available.
Yeah, like our Lego Palooza, it's once a month, but in the winter, we do it every week because it's cold and nasty out. And in the summer, we do it every week because there's no school. So like April, May, June, it's just once a month. September, October, November, December, it's once a month. But then January, February, March, it's every week, and July.
Yeah.
So like, you know, we have taken
Seasonal.
feedback of when things are popular and have shifted to meet those needs.
Well, that's smart, because you're using your resources where they're paying off for your patrons. That's really a good way to do
And I'm still in the learning process of the flow.
it.
Like, for example, at my afternoon program for the art and exploration at the library program, that was conceived because in the, we had a afternoon program by a fluke. And someone was from the Bradley House folks came and they were accompanied by the now executive director. And he said, this is a great time for our folks. And it's like, okay, let's get our heads together. Let's create something. And that's how that seed was planted, by that feedback. You know, so it's a matter of now we're utilizing that room for a program for the library. And we just got a competitive $5,000 creative aging grant to support that program.
Cool.
And so some of the feedback we've gotten unofficial feedback, well, that's exactly what I want. But people have said for the winter, it was wonderful to have something to come out to. And these are some of the comments we've received. So,
Yeah,
you know,
like anecdotal, yeah, like it's not measured, but it's valuable.
you know, but it was also in acting immediately on feedback that we were given.
Mhm.
You know, so feedback is not just formalized, it's also informal feedback.
And I feel like with marketing, with our programs, this community expects programs, they look for programs, they know to come look for programs.
Right.
I think the majority of our marketing is programs. And I think that really where we could learn to expand is in the just all the benefits that the library has to offer.
Yeah.
I think
Thank
that's,
you, Lindsay. Yeah.
but we have so many programs, like there are weeks I
Yeah.
have 5 programs. So like, you know, having the time to be like, oh, do you know, we also have these other non-program things. It's hard to find time to focus on that. And I think that's where so many people are like, oh, I didn't know you had this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like the program thing, I feel like we have a good grip on it
Yeah.
and people know to look for it. They come to our newsletter to look for it. They come to our online calendar to look for that. I think it's the other aspects that we're doing where if we had a more formal marketing plan, because we hear all the time, I didn't know the library did that.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you, Lindsay. That was the one piece where I feel like, for me, I'm often wanting to promote a lot of our online resources, reference resources, you know, services that, that people don't know about until they know about it. And I can see how like a formal marketing plan could be helpful for, just getting on a calendar of like, okay, come up with something, you know, what are you already doing that you know, we want to highlight. Because otherwise I'm not gonna just like
It's always
come
in the
into the
background.
library one day and say, yeah, let's, you know, tell people about consumer reports. That's what we need to do today. It's never gonna.
It's always at the back.
Yeah,
It's like, I
yeah,
should do that.
right,
Here are the million things
yeah.
proceeding.
And we have done features in the newsletter
Yeah.
over time,
Yes.
but it's not
Yeah,
formalized, and part of that is just the time crunch. Like I have a spreadsheet, marketing spreadsheet for all the things that I'm in charge of, especially during the summer, but also the tool library's opening, the scene library's opening, ice skating, museum passes. And actually, we've been doing a concerted effort on the museum passes in the last couple years, which has, I think, been pretty successful. But, you know, I'm always going down the list. I made a graphic, made a poster, I put it on in the newsletter, I put it on social media. Do I have time to put on Front Porch Forum? Do I have time to put posters around town? Do I have time to write a press release? you know, some of the things end up at the bottom and never get done because just time.
Okay. Thank you. Are there tools that we could fund to support your process more efficiently so that you can get more done with less?
Well, we have started using Canva and we have, that's been funded. And that I think has made things easier. I know. Because before it was everyone had posters on their own computers and now we have Canva and all go in. So if something does need to be changed,
So this is software.
this is software that we've started utilizing.
That's good.
Also,
It-
a way of asking this question, I mean, I'm gonna, Tara's position, could involve a lot of marketing. And are there things that in your position that keep you from doing that? What gets in the way?
The constant barrage of new ideas for programming.
I think
All the authors who want their books in the main reading. And all the events that keep on coming and need responses. You know, and so that is one thing. And then we're like, you know, I'm back up during lunch hours and it's constant. We're busy. We are busy from the moment we walk in this door until the moment we leave. Why were we late right now? I'm like, oh, I can get 2 things on Front Porch Forum, which I did. You know, and so it's a matter of, it's constant.
And Tara also oversees the administration of all the meeting
Yeah, that-
spaces, which is huge.
That's a
And,
huge thing.
and
The
the
administration of
calendar,
what?
all the
Meeting
meeting
space.
spaces, yeah. And putting everything on the calendar. So when District 9 decides they need to have a meeting in the room across the way, that's a special kind of a reservation, and she needs to get all the information on the calendar so that all the people from District 9 can see where they're supposed to go. And a lot of that is dealing with people as well, please send me your descriptions so that we can get this in.
I was on the
place.
phone this morning saying I need the description because I can't get it on the calendar without a description. You know, and so it's a matter, it's a lot of outward facing involvement. You know, we want to nurture that, you know, we are a place that people can use. You know, and so there's a lot of relationship building with that, you know. And so like people who want to I want to run a program at the library you know, consecutively. The community room is not available consecutively. Like if someone says, oh, I want to have a program there weekly, there are maybe 3 times in the week that it may be open. So we're constantly, I have a spreadsheet of all the recurring programs that are external, you know, that are not ours, you know, so that I can be in contact with them. And then if something comes up at the library, oh, we really want this program on April 20th, but we don't have a room for it. So we have to, I have to approach the Audubon Society. Would you mind going in the main reading room on this day? Because we need the community room.
Mhm.
You know, so that takes about a large portion of my time, a large portion.
So we need more meeting spaces. For sure.
Every place.
Yeah, we're gonna have hanging meeting spaces.
Yes.
You know, I mean,
You're gonna have to do those outdoor ones that you can buy, like just drop them on your property.
Yeah.
We have more than we did.
We do.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know how we
And how did
function.
we?
Well,
used to
and
do
that's
it?
the thing, we created more meeting spaces, so there's much more demand, so there's more work to be done.
Yes,
That's the problem with marketing.
Yes.
Exactly.
yeah, and so by the way, please see all my questions not as, well, you could be doing things better,
Yeah.
but as, how can we support you
That's the.
to make you more efficient so that you can get more
Sure.
done?
Yeah.
Because I predict that in 2026, you're gonna do more than you did in 2025. I predict in 2027, you're gonna do more than you did in 2026.
And then,
So, you know, I'm like, we have 2 choices. We buy the building next door, you know, and you know, like raise another bunch of $1 million and just keep expanding until the library takes up the whole town. Or, and like have everybody in town work for the library, or we figure out how to be more efficient, so. And,
Well,
and
I
I'm hoping
agree.
that we can.
I mean, as long as we don't let anybody in the building asking for things, it's gonna really reduce. I mean, it's a flip answer, but
No,
I mean, part, like,
I'm with you.
I was, Tara used the word outward facing involvement. It's like on every level, we're not in our offices, like getting stuff done,
no,
as much, or if we are, we're also inevitably watching the floor and answering the phone. Like all of us do that all the time.
sure.
And so there isn't uninterrupted project time. So, but obviously we're the public library. When we have tons of people coming through our doors, getting stuff, that's good. That's why we're here. So it kind of goes around in a circle. And so I don't feel like it's like, if only I had a better tool, I could, in what I only have 10 minutes to do, I could do in 5 minutes. I just don't, I think we reach a point of diminishing returns.
Okay.
that
Yeah,
we've become as efficient as
yeah,
we can
yeah,
with the workload.
yeah.
You know, like some things are so streamlined. Like I'm gonna use the example of like rhyme time. I can pull together a rhyme time in about 15 minutes now. If someone had to create what I've done over the past 20 years from scratch, it would probably take you 4 hours
Sure.
to find the books, find the finger plays, make the, so like at some point, I can't be any more efficient in this.
And this is
Like
the-
it is
Yeah.
as
That's an
efficient.
answer.
So
Right.
like, but that's why, like with this, like my rhyme time, like I have all the graphics. I have my summer graphics, I have my winter graphics, those are all made. So I'm not reproducing that every week. Like those things are set to go. So like, I don't. Like what I'm doing is like, I'm doing this as fast as I can. At some point, you can't.
Right, so an issue, sort of a problem with strategic planning or marketing plan is, the board can, have ideas and, we don't want to make things harder for the staff, like we want, we have a shared vision. We want the library to be, robustly successful. And for the community to be really involved with what the library does and to love the library like we do. And the danger of strategic planning and marketing is that it can ask people, overly burdened staff people to do more. And so together, we might want to think about what is the less. What shouldn't you be doing that you're doing? If we're encouraging you to, be innovative and outreaching, and if we can't get you, I mean, getting Tara's position was sort of like a big deal. But what would you like to let go of?
It's such a trade-off. I mean, we could do fewer programs and market them better with the time that we save. But our programs already get pretty good attendance. So should we do fewer? Should we
I'm
get
gonna,
more attendance for fewer events or more events? You know.
And part of as pointed out, Tara, part of the service we provide by providing these programs is giving the community a place to show their interests and to give those programs. So it's not just like we're having the programs for the library and for the audience. It's also the presenters are coming to us saying,
Yeah.
please, can I do this?
We are, like a lot of the programs, like I've only been in the position for not even a year and a half yet. And a lot, a lot of what we're trying to nurture here is library programs that are in collaboration so that I'm not presenting. I don't, it's like when I was teaching, I don't want to teach any longer, we're doing programming. We can bring in the people with the skills and the resources who need to connect with, we're making the connection of the people providing the programs and also the people receiving what's being offered. So I think in my report, I said to Star, when you were doing the report, the number of collaborative programs has increased,
Sure.
so that we're not doing the delivery.
So, and, is it silly to say that if we use programs are sort of like a loss leader to get people into the building and to get people exposed to the wide variety of other services the library provides? And maybe you were mentioning, Amanda, that you don't spend as much time marketing the core services of the library as you do events. Maybe we provide a way for people who come for events to be reminded of the core services at every event. And then you kind of like kill two birds with one stone in a way. Do you do that already? You probably do that already.
It depends on the program. Yeah, if we can do something, if there's a tie-in, we'll do a book display and if somebody's, when we used to have first Wednesday lectures, anytime somebody was mentioning a book title, I was scurrying to the shelf to get it to tell people afterwards, and you can check out that book. But I think that's an excellent idea that, and we did with the financial literacy and your art exploration. We relied heavily on the collection for that as
And
well.
many events, we'll say at the beginning, like, oh, and by the way, Tool Shed's about to open, and then they walk in and they see someone checking out snowshoes. Oh my gosh, the library has snowshoes.
But you're right, if you've got a captive audience,
Definitely.
Oh, yeah, that, my mind is turning, it's a matter of, it'd be nice to have a core display of like additional resources at the library. So they come in and maybe there's a display, it has something from the tool shed, it has something from, the online display,
And we do that. Our displays are often tied into our events to seasonal activities and,
But yeah, when you have their ear,
There are also intangible services because when you're in the building, you don't see Canopy and you don't see our ebook, Libby, you don't see our electronic lending services.
Right.
And by the way, those reduce the amount of labor that you have to do for people to get access to content, right? Because I can take out a book.
once they get
No,
used
I
to
don't
it.
have it on the desk. Yeah.
Not like tech committee needs more, but it's teaching.
Yeah, I think overall.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
was
once
just
they get
talking,
back
it's
in
so
it.
hard for people to log
Yeah.
into Canada.
Yeah, I was like this morning on the phone with somebody about Canopy.
That's why we have technical support. Right? So, yeah,
Well, we have the staff,
Yeah,
technical
yeah.
support,
yeah.
which
Yeah.
is the staff. We're the ones who do the technical support for
Yeah.
that.
But that's like, you show people how to do it, maybe
Yeah.
if you're lucky, you show people how to do it
Yeah.
once and then they can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know some people you could show them 100 times, they'll never
Right.
figure it out.
And
I
that's
was-
where you could grab, like, I know Jean put on, she found links or whatever to places where you can access Canopy and all that stuff, and has put it on the page. But also YouTube videos, do some YouTube videos that you could just shoot at people. Here's how you do this, or here's where you find that, and, maybe we could have Seth. We could work directly with Seth. I mean, also, I feel like the trustees need to volunteer to take some of the work off of you guys. You guys need to say, hey, Ian, I want you to, spend an hour a week sorting through this mail, this pile of stuff or something. I don't know. But I just feel like sometimes, volunteers to.
Just a couple I've got a couple different thoughts pinging, and one is, definitely, I remember even when we launched the website, we talked about like making videos about like how to access some of the services. You know, Seth and I did a whole thing with the language learners, and then now, of course, we don't have one of those resources anymore, so that becomes obsolete. So, you know, those have to be kept up to remain current. And also, that's not troubleshooting. Those are generally what I think we find there. Those are great for people who are curious and brave and want to try something. They're definitely not for the people who are like, I don't know, I've got my phone. Can I do it on my phone? You know, like there's no way you can cover that stuff. You know, that's got to be person to person, and that's okay. I mean, that's why we're here, partly that, you know, we're connecting people with resources. But I think you need both. I think you need both, you know, the discovery online and the people to back it up. Because we spend a lot of time helping folks get access to the resource. And then, but the other thing I was thinking about was like, what if there was a thing at programs where each time there's some resource that we offer, whether or not it's even related to the subject of the program. It could be like a little moment at the beginning of any program, like here's your bookmark this time, or here's your thing about surprise, the library also does this. And then just kind of incorporate that into program.
It's a great idea.
I like that.
And
Commercial.
honestly, are there any programs that we couldn't find a library resource to
Yeah.
connect to?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a good point,
Yeah.
right? You know?
I also wanted to mention, we are redesigning our welcome packet. So
A what packet?
our little brochure we give people when they sign up for a library card.
Okay.
So I think that's gonna show off our resources a little bit more.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say, you know, also this part of this whole marketing too, just what you did with the museum passes, making them digital. You know, that I think was a great marketing. I think that is marketing because now people just click, click, click. It's more efficient for the individual. And it's also better for the staff because they don't have to deal with that. It's
And
one
another indirect marketing is going to be the rollout of ABC.
Yeah.
You know, people are already talking about that, finding it, and
What is that?
the ABC directory.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
It's
Mhm.
it's
Human
now a link on the
resources.
website.
Yeah,
Peek at it.
more tech.
But it's a, you know, I strongly encourage you guys to throw stuff back at us. We like, you know, the trustees, somebody in trustees to take on this, or, you know, one thing we are gonna lose right now, coming up is the, I don't wanna say collaboration with Seth, which I think, has that been a good thing? Is he gonna still, you've been one-on-one with Seth a lot.
Oh, but as has Tara.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, they work
Oh.
really
Are
closely.
we gonna lose?
No,
No.
they're talking about me,
We
not
can't.
Seth.
Very, yeah,
Yeah.
I will call him up and say, send
Okay,
me this.
great, that's
Like,
good to
I don't
know.
know if you see my posters, there's a banner that we use that like to standardize so people know it's ours. And we actually now, all staff have access to that.
Okay,
So that's in Campbell. That's
Yeah,
good.
so, yeah, we would definitely,
okay, good, you
Yeah.
have that good communication.
oh, absolutely.
I would.
Yeah.
I would be scared because I think he's one of the most invaluable assets this town has.
And, yes, and he was instrumental in putting together the ABC too.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
in fact,
yeah, he works with all the staff.
yeah, he's been a good cheerleader too. It's like he keeps us aware that we're on the right track. So it's good.
Excellent.
And we're gonna have to do a feature on ABC once it rolls
Yeah,
out, so the
yeah.
whole town will know about it.
We're getting the HCRS signed up today, 3 different elements of them. So, you know,
Fantastic.
the big kids are showing.
Good.
So this QR code that's mentioned in this.
Right.
Is that gonna be something new? I have to share a story.
Uh-huh.
So my daughter got this in the mail. She got a QR code from her friends who are gonna get married this summer. And so she, whatever, did the thing on the QR code. And found out they're actually going to move to Australia, I think, and they're not gonna get married for another year. And I'm like, people can have their own QR code so that
Yes.
their friends can click and it goes, I don't know. it boggled my mind that these, instead of writing a letter, you know.
Right.
you could-
Mass
you
email.
know, when it's on for you.
Yeah. So, and that's another thing is like we could put QR codes on the library saying, hey, if you want a quick access to Canopy, boop. You know,
Yes, some people are suspicious of QR codes.
Me.
But they're
So
in the
we
library.
want to use them judiciously. Also, anyone could tape QR code to the wall in the library and it wouldn't, you know. I think it's good to be cautious about
Okay.
QR codes, but I'm not totally against them.
So the reason I mentioned that is I talked to Johnny at BCTV and said, you know, could we, if we send you one of our flyers, will you show it in between programs as a PSA, just a static PSA? And he said, yes, but please put a QR code on it so people can see it and then just click the QR code right there on the screen and go to the information. So that's a possibility to do. And, you know, so if it's in that context, you know, we're generating it and putting it out there.
Because there's something different for every demographic
Right.
in terms of how people access and absorb information. So things, you know, and
I think is that the younger generation? I mean,
but
as you
that's
said, I'm a
that.
skeptical
It's
person.
not our demographic.
Yeah, I know.
Let's just say that.
Yeah, are they
It's-
full now or are they already passe QR codes? I don't know, like they were,
I don't know if they're cool, but they work.
they work.
And I think they're kind of boring, really.
Yeah,
And,
they-
but that boring is good.
They get
Boring
rid
is
of it.
what you want.
yeah.
If
They don't
that
get away from it.
understands QR codes, you know, that's something also we may, at a committee or just a staff ask Seth to come in and meet and just say, okay, how does this work?
And Matt can do that too.
Oh, Matt,
Yeah, Matt's made QR codes
You
for
could
us.
make them in Canva.
Yeah.
They're
easy.
super easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bitly.
Poster.
Yeah,
They don't
have you ever
take
used
any-
Bitly? It's a way to like get short.
Yeah.
You like you have this really long URL, you want it to be short. They also will give you a QR code. On its free.
You don't have to like make this tiny.
Leo's
Yeah,
rolling
it
his
doesn't
eyes.
cost
Yeah.
anything.
So,
I'm gonna throw this up, just one more thing too,
Okay.
and think about using ChatGPT more, maybe, possibly. I don't know, I know you're skeptical too. So my volunteer boss at SEPCA, she writes letters using ChatGPT. She's gotta write a letter to the state of Vermont. She says, I had ChatGPT do it, and it took it 5 minutes, and yeah, I proofread it, and it was done, but instead of typing the letter from scratch, which
Yep.
would take me a half hour. And she's done the same thing with some other stuff. She was telling me stories about this, and I'm gonna be technology illiterate on this stuff, but those just things to think about, you know, a year from now, I don't know. Go ahead, Scott.
and actually Jean and Matt have gone to several sessions on using AI in libraries,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
there will only be more of them to go to,
Yes,
I'm sure.
we're going to one next week,
Daga?
actually.
It's something to learn about.
Uh-huh.
The ethical implications are pretty serious, and so we would want to think about how that works
Yeah.
before, you know, really using it. Honestly, in my situation, like with all the different things I do, I feel like I would rarely have a need for that it could produce something higher quality than, you know, I could with a brain.
Yeah.
So speaking of a need and a brain, Amanda needs to take her dinner break. Or she's not gonna get one, so.
Go get your brain.
Be in time.
Yes,
And feel free though,
yeah,
to reach out to us, you know, I mean, these things that I'm throwing out, it's just, it's mind boggling talking to some of these people. what they
I
do.
believe Canva already has AI copywriting abilities built into it. I don't know if you have to pay extra for that, but. So if you're using Canva to create marketing materials, there are AI features in Canva already.
Mhm.
So if like you're saying, oh, can you write me a little blurb about, it'll fill it in for you. I know it's like taking the place of a whole marketing person.
And I think Lindsay's got her lifetimes down pat, so I think that.
Yeah, you know.
obviously, it's just, you know, just something that something
Yeah.
keeps you or I don't know. I'm sure Seth uses it maybe for some of his stuff now. I mean, my daughter was talking, she works at Dun& Bradstreet, she's like, okay, I want a Dun& Bradstreet presentation PDF on this, this, and this, and it comes right out and does it. I mean, you review it, I know there's those, I wouldn't even call them ethical, there's, you always want to review your work, whether you
Yes.
type it yourself or somebody else type it.
I think we have to be really careful in our images.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's generating art, it isn't always, it's sometimes surreal in ways that you don't want it to be, or
Yeah, I used it for,
not giving you the
Art
diversity you're
influence.
looking for, or whatever.
What was that, Jean?
I used it once for art in Canva, like combined, I can't remember, it was two things, and it was cute, I almost felt like compassion for the AI, it was like. Here's the, I don't know, here's the tree and here's the book or whatever it was, and it was like trying to, and I'm sure it's just gonna keep getting better. But it was, it didn't meet the need.
Yeah.
You don't have to feel sorry for it.
I know, it'll have the last laugh.
Yeah.
If you would take the time to look at this and see if there are any other comments, I myself have not. This is the first time I've seen it in a while. If we need to make any changes to this, just let us know.
This is an internal document.
Yes. Yeah.
What
only?
Internal.
It's
document,
internal document, it won't be posted.
Yeah.
It's just guidance more than anything.
Oh.
A lot of this you probably already do it. I mean, honestly, the bulk of it's probably 99%. So it's, also with the new director coming on board, they had this, they said, oh, this is how they're doing these things.
Yeah.
So it would give them a little bit of feedback too.
Yeah, it's good to see it laid out, stuff that we're already doing, just have it.
Yeah.
Detailed.
Yeah, this is.
All right.
Anything else? I'm gonna go on to, do we have amended bylaws? I'm gonna move on if everybody's okay with this. Amended bylaws on hold until
You can go if you want.
Okay, yeah.
You're welcome to stay, but you have other things to do. Go do some marketing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us. The amended bylaws are on hold, obviously, until select board figures out and whatnot, the whole RTM open town.
The
meeting.
charter stuff.
Chartist.
Right, that's a good way to say it. Library director transition stars, did you have some thoughts on that?
No,
As far as I know, you wanted to speak with each chair of the committees, you want to speak one-on-one with me at some point.
yeah, and just to get a sense of what you would like me to prepare for somebody else coming in, like that's like something like this around other, other issues that you guys.
Thoughts?
It's all already done.
It's
You
all
know,
already done.
No, like, we have a strategic plan,
Uh-huh.
we have a marketing plan. You know, we all know how to talk and listen. So you don't have to do more.
What do you think? How do you feel about, you were once gonna be in that person's position, so.
Mhm.
I mean,
And-
you are gonna be around, you
Yeah.
said that you're gonna spend the next 6 months in your office next to that.
No, I'm buying the house next door.
We'll buy
You're
it.
gonna,
for you.
you're gonna
There.
take over Anna's desk.
Yeah, right. There are lots of little hidden cubbies in the municipal center, but no, I am certainly available anytime anybody needs to talk to me about it.
Do you think there are concerns or any points that the new director
Well, Not so much with this committee. I think there are some things with the finance committee, just some finer points because we've got so many funding streams that will be helpful for the new director. So I'm gonna get with Margaret and Jenny and talk about that. And some town staff, just to, talk about some finer points that it's good to know about.
No, I mean, I think that the operationalizing the grant, will
Yeah.
be kind of
Mm.
major.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The other stuff will just flow as it flows, because that will, absorb plenty of energy.
Yeah, this project.
Yes, and we had the walkthrough today and 3 contractors showed for the walkthrough, so. That I say plan on starting, early April, so.
Okay. Maybe sooner if it stays warm. It's not spring.
It's supposed to snow again this weekend.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
oh, really?
Okay, well, I'm
It's not
thinking
supposed to
if,
stick though.
unless somebody else has anything they would like to offer. Thank you so much, Lindsay, Jean, Star.
Thank you.
Being here.
Thank you.